In this podcast, Acting TCAS Director Dr. Nadine Changfoot explains both the purpose of the gathering and introduces Julie Davis, Vice President of External Relations and Development at Trent University. Julie shares recent updates regarding the building process of Trent's new long-term care home and seniors village, the philosophy behind this project, and the consultation and collaboration between Trent, people care communities, and Indigenous elders and advisors.
My name is Nadine Changfoot. I was born and raised in Sarnia, Ontario, the territories of the Three Fires Confederacy of the Odawa, Chippewa, and Potawatomi. And Peterborough, Nova Scotia is my home for the last 20 years and growing. And it was described to me when I first moved to Peterborough, Nova Scotia, that there's a vortex here, and that once you're here, you're here. It's hard to get out in a good way. I'm the acting director of the Trent Center for Aging and Society. The Trent Center for Aging and Society, known as TCAS, TCAS has about 90 members, strong and growing, comprising of Trent faculty around the country and internationally, and graduate associates, undergraduate associates, and community associates. TCAS has about 270 members. The aim of TCAS is threefold. First, TCAS builds meaningful dialogue that challenges ageism in our communities and cultures, seeks to celebrate and understand diverse experiences of aging, which includes decolonizing and indigenizing. And third, TCAS amplifies the research of its members, and the research crosses the humanities, sciences, and social sciences. Our gathering today is also a first and continuation of partnership between TCAS and the China School of Indigenous Studies in organizing this gathering. Our AIIGO gathering is the Trent Center for Aging and Society's first gathering that brings younger and elder Anishinaabe together to share of their vision for growing old intergenerationally in their respective communities. Thank you very much. And we're going to move to my introduction of Julie Davis. So Julie Davis is Trent University's Vice President of External Relations and Development. And I invite Julie to share a very exciting endeavor that is the Trent Seniors Village, what it is, and the stage of where the Seniors Village is in terms of process and development. And I also want to thank Julie Davis for her generous support of the Trent Center for Aging and Society. So please welcome Julie Davis.
Good morning, Nadine, everybody. So as Nadine said, my name is Julie Davis. I'm in my now 14th year at Trent University. Very, very privileged to work at this beautiful institution and have the opportunity to work with not only the Center for Aging and Society, but also support the institution in building respectful and physical relationships with the First Nations of this region. So I do want to just talk a little bit about the plan and vision that we have for Seniors Village at Trent. And the impetus for this started with our insight into some of the work that some faculty members within the Center for Aging and Society had done on promising practices in long-term care. And they were part of an international study. And we started to talk about, well, how could we take that learning and put it into practice in our region? Peterborough is one of the oldest communities in Canada. And in Peterborough, we know especially that the wait list for long-term care is extremely unacceptably long. So we wanted to find a way to support the work from those researchers being put into practice. When we looked further into the need in the community and the opportunity that we had with some land that's on our campus, what if we built a home and had it very embedded in the learning and had it as a place of learning and a place where we brought that learning into not only our community, but had the chance to show the rest of the country what some of those innovations can do for quality of care. We had a community member at the time come to us asking Trent to work harder at trying to get more long-term care spaces. And so we toured a number of homes throughout Ontario and decided that this was something that was a role that Trent could play. So this introduction really speaks to our commitment as a university to bring our teaching and research to life and to benefit the community and to meet community needs at the same time. On Woodland Drive is where the long-term care home will be placed, and along Water Street is where the seniors village will be. What I think is fantastic is around that is 75 acres of natural area. And so this will be a space that is very integrated with nature. I'm surprised to see any other home that has that much nature around it, so that will be a tremendous asset. And there's a number of important pieces here. Access to public transportation, the Link bus that goes to Kirk Lake and Selwyn stops right there outside the long-term care home entrance. Typically, the city planning process only require 3 season studies. The Indigenous communities asked us to do 4 season studies, which we were very happy to do. And so making sure that we understood where nature needed to thrive and what would be the most suitable location for this home was done with the greatest depth of understanding of the species as possible. Through that process, we found significant wetland, and so we worked to have that provincially designated. And we thank the Elders Council for giving it the name of Pictana Mashing. So that is a wetland on the site which will be protected and a source of learning and teaching and medicine. And again, we've had the elders bless the site and give us continued teachings about the land. So I just thought that was really important to understand. When we're talking about a building, we wanted to make sure that the land and all of those values are very much in the forefront of how it is being created. So the long-term care home, we did a competitive process to find a company to build and operate that. We will be leasing the land to People Care, who will build and operate the home. And it was unanimous. This is a company with very strong values. Their vision is to change the world of seniors living. And they were looking for a long-term research partner. They've done some wonderful innovations in long-term care. They wanted to work with a university so that they could sustain those relationships and build on that research and make sure that what they were learning was going out into the sector. The People Care will be building a 224-bed not-for-profit home, and we've got a teaching and research agreement with them, and whether that be nursing students and encouraging them to go into gerontology, not just the more obvious students in nursing, kinesiology, and social work, but cultural studies, English, sustainable agriculture, business. There's a place for students to work in all aspects of this home. And so part of our agreement with People Care is a commitment to a minimum of 100 placements per year. Another big requirement was that the home have a large multi-space room, so that in the future, this event would be able to be held in the home. And the benefit of that is that residents, the people who live there, can come and be a part of this. Care wanted to be a place where students and faculty and the community come and go, that it is a community space. And so we're very excited about that being a vibrant place of learning and sharing and growing together. And our hope and expectation is a groundbreaking later this spring, as long as all of those approvals come in as we expect. And then the build itself will be about 2 years. So on the precipice of seeing this come to life. So that was what I wanted to share, and I'd be delighted to answer any questions, and there'll be lots more opportunities. People Care is very delighted about the work that Trent's done with Indigenous communities. This will be a chance for them to learn. They were involved at the beginning with the Elders Council and the consultation officers to make sure they understood the values around caring for the land as they do the site, and then there'll be lots of opportunities to talk about how that home comes together and the work that can be done within it.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Trent Center for Aging and Society, produced by Matthew Deshaw and Nadine Changfoot. Miigwech, and thank you for tuning in.